right, we are back. Today we're going to be previewing the Japan Pro and the Fit Model Pro Qualifier that's happening this weekend. This is the first show of the year, and I'm looking forward to it. 1 week out before the Arnold Classic as well, so I'm going to be previewing that on Monday and giving my predictions for that as well. But today we're going to be talking about things that have been going on in the industry, especially with Fit Model since it's been introduced in December, I believe, of last year, and then to what it is now. So it's just the beginning of the season, and we only had two pro qualifiers. So I mean, two NPC shows for it so far, and it's not been having many depth. And I know what people are talking about, like two girls are talking about, Angie and Emily, and who's going to be the person for the show. But I even said this, and I think people got this really twisted. Was there has to be that person that that face of the division, and maybe a top five in like a pro qualifying show, like your nationals, your USAs, your North Americas, to get an idea of where to go to. But to just say this is the person now, I mean, there are going to be plenty of NPC shows throughout the season and shows that are going to get people nationally qualified. But until they are in a pro qualifying show, like a national level show, to where they are going to try to become pro, and then we can, I think, go about what the pro level is going to be looking like and where the direction of the industry is headed to. And until there is a champion, like an Olympia champion for the division, that's when I think that we'll have an idea for what Fit Model looks for. For right now, it's just everyone's talking about Emily and Angie, and you never know. There's some people that could come out of the blue, and even those aren't in Japan right now. That can be what the first pro is. But until things get going into the season, I know it's very hard. Everybody's so anxious, like what's going to happen, what's the look, should it look like this, should it look like that, what's the suit cut, what's the suit cut for this, is that's not bad, there's a time. Let the judges do their part, and then we can go about it and assess, and I can obviously evaluate and analyze and do everything about that. So with that being said, we have a pro show this weekend, and I'm going to share that. Hold on, let me get this going. And all right, so we have 13 girls here. A couple name standouts. We have our Natalia. She's already qualified. She's won the show, I think, for the past two years, 23, 2-3 years, I believe. I think actually no, 2 years, because 23 and 24. I don't think she did the 2022 Olympia. Natalia, she's most likely our front runner to win it. Zinyi, who's another Olympian who did the last year's Olympia. She's one of the front runners to win it. And then Yumi, she's competed in the States, and also she's been like top 4, top 3 in the States, and she got second in her last show, and that was in Hong Kong. And she likes to compete a lot in the States, and she loves coming to America. And then one name I also recognize is Eliza Vita. She has competed in the States before. I think she's been highest second in shows, and she's been very close to qualifying. And I'd say those are the girls we should be looking after. But and also I believe her name is Vanessa. She's apparently from Brazil but lives in Japan. And I think she did the Japan Pro Show. I don't know. I think she was like 10, 11th, I believe. But we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about what I feel like they're going to place. But here we go. Let's start with Natalia. So she qualified back in the Vietnam Pro. And I feel like she has like crazy shape, crazy like proportions to her physique. And she's very well balanced and put together. She did in her first Olympia in 2020, she got 13, I believe. And I think that, if she poses very well, she's confident in it, and she's not too hard and has great presentation, I definitely think that it will really show in her and how she presents the physique. But sometimes some criticisms I had with her was sometimes her suit top would be too small, and I'm kind of scared of getting wardrobe malfunction, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. Cut's fine. Everything, her hair looks great. But I just feel like, she really needs to put herself out there and start getting comfortable doing shows in the States and start winning there, because I think she can always win this show and continue to do well. And this is great to keep, competing, versus just being one and done, just, seeing her one time a year. She obviously wants to make herself very memorable and present a better physique. Right, next up. I'll go Zinyi. Now she has crazy genetics, like long glute insertions, great proportions. She's tall. I didn't even realize that. I mean, she's very well put together, but one criticism I've always had was is her shoes, and sometimes she's too hard. But shoulders are fine. She doesn't need to grow any more shoulders, but her back pose is going to be probably one of the strongest in the show. She has great times, but you got to be careful of like not having a ham rope where it's like your glute insert to where your hamstring is. It's just if she has that good separation of glutes to hamstrings, I think that would really help her out. But we'll see what she does and how she presents. So this is her latest update, and it seems she's pretty spot on it. I mean, amazing physique, and I'm looking forward to see what she can do. She got third in the Sasquatch Pro that she did in, when she did her first show in the U.S. before the Olympia, and I definitely think she can win a U.S. show as well. And I hope that she can do well in here and get a qualification. But I definitely see her being something great in many years to come. All right, next up, let me get this person up. Here we go. So next up we have is Yumi. I got to talk with her at the Olympia, with her translator, and she really loves coming to America and being here. If Adam is her coach, and if she wants to place to stay, Adam's like, "Hey, I got a house. You can come to the contest prep center, train there, do the posing, do your posing there." She really loves visiting and coming to state, and I really believe that she knows she can qualify. I know she did a lot of shows, and a lot of people have told her, you should stop, call it a season, but I feel like she knows she can qualify. And even though she was getting fourth a lot, placing in the top five, and her last show she got second, it kind of felt like she wanted to keep going because she kind of had this notion that she could qualify. But I felt like for her, trying to find a recent photo. That's what I was trying to do. I felt like for her, she just needed a little more glute because she's longer and taller. She's about 5'6", 5'7". See, here we go. This is from her last show. But I feel like as she just, I mean, with the time off that she has, I definitely think that she has the room for improvements to improve her physique, and whatever she brings, I think it's going to be great. I definitely think she's placing him, but I feel like it'll be hard against Natea and Zinni, but I think she can do pretty well, and I would love to see her take the win. I mean, I'm rooting for her to take this win, and whatever happens, happens. She always has a great physique. She always has, like, she's a beautiful girl. you know, Sometimes I feel like she could use a little more delt just to like balance her top out to her bottom. And even when she comes to Las Vegas, Hidetada was like, "You can use my gym. You can come to my place." Like she wants to make a life here in the States. And I definitely think that her dream is to get on the Olympia stage. And I definitely think that she can do it. And believe that she can qualify. Now it's just going to be like what you look like with these other girls, and can you outpose them, and can you outlast them? Right. So that's Yumi. And then here we go. Eliza Vita. So she has done pretty well. I don't know if she's still with Fit Body Fusion or not. I don't think so. I could be wrong. But great physique. But I just feel like sometimes she just needs to be more comfortable on stage and, not get so nervous. This is just the production of Rich Japan that's going to show up. They put on awesome stage, by the way, and this lighting is awesome. I just wish they did darker backdrop. For her, it's just, not being too conditioned. Like it looks really hard. I mean, maybe it's the lighting it makes her look hard. But if she's too rigid, sometimes I feel like this show when she was 14, I believe. Like she's hard in the front and soft in the back. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And just needs to work on presentation. Like a lot of the Asian girls have crazy, physiques and great genetics, but it's just how they present. It's just presentations just lacking in them. I just feel like they just could use posing coaches and help with that. Here we go. Here's just a standstill. So it's like soft in the back and then like hard in the front. Like you could see that like cut right there and her abs. It's impressive. I would also careful of your suit. Bottoms just saying. Right. Next up, we're gonna go. So I didn't know who she was until people mentioned her, but her name is um Inazu, Vanessa. So she just turned pro last year at this show, I believe. And she did her debut in the Japan Pro. So this will be her second show. So one thing is it's going to be experience level, I think, for her. But if she presents great, I don't say otherwise. But it looks like she took the time to grow because I can definitely see how different she looked here versus recent. But like I said, it's all going to happen what happens on stage. And that was November. Looks like she's made some improvements, but I guess we'll have to see. All right. Now, with that being said, let's do predictions. So, okay, and first, I'm going to be biased right here, but I'm going Yumi, Nataya, Zenye, Liza Vita, Vanessa. There was one I forgot about. Hold on. She has done pretty well in other shows. I forgot. Was it Heather? I think is her name. I'm so sorry. Like I'm not familiar with them, but I just realized. Yeah, she's been like third, fifth, and a couple shows. I think she did get second in one. I'm not sure. Her front. Let's see. What was the last show she did? Just think she has to fix this posing. Because great physique, just also bringing down her arms. Because that's what I'm looking at first. And she, like I said, presentation is going to be a big thing for a lot of these competitors. And who knows that someone may come out may be better. This was last year. But if she fixes those certain things, it definitely makes her physique look much better. I think this was the Vietnam show. And again, this is not the best quality. It's very jagged. But you can see what I'm talking about. Like front can be fixed, but back compensates for that. But you have to be 100 and 100 on. You can't be 50% on one side and 100 on the other. You have to be at least a good balance of both. Just needs to work on presentation and just just tweaking a couple things in front. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Heather as well. Part of me will say that Natalia is gonna win. Zinyi will get second, and Yumi will get first, or vice versa. Zinyi wins, Natalia. It's like these top three are kind of like I'm set on, and it can go either way. But I'm wishing for the best for all of them, and I'm thinking that Yumi can definitely take this win. And maybe Natai wins and we get an Olympia blocker. So, hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess everything will happen on Saturday. So I'm going to be watching out for that.